Welcome everybody to another edition of the rarely used interviews. This time we are with Goldcat of the Rocky Payloaders.
Tjena mors.
So, how are you today? First of all,
I'm doing fine.
okay, we'll take that. so, let's start by introducing yourself. How did you get to Smogon and how did you get started in RU?
Right. I've been playing once since like 2015, but I only joined Smogon like by 2017, but I'm not sure why I actually decided to join Smogon. Because I didn't join any tournaments at the time or really were active on the forums. So really I only got active when I joined the RU community, which was in 2020, right when SSRU released there in like February or whenever. But yeah, I just thought that SSRU was really fun, and I got into a ladder rivalry with Fellyburn, and yeah, so that was my gateway into Smog. So really active on Smogon and participating in tournaments and all that.
Great. So, will you talk about your first RUPL if you remember anything about it?
Yes, I can start with RPL 7. I wasn't on the team, but I was on as a helper. It was the lab performance with Billy Byrne as the manager. And what was funny was remember how Philip Byrne mistyped when it was numbing for Ashna. It's on like a crazy high value, and he asked for a redo. But then everyone just started upbidding him like crazy, and he went for like 30k. So they didn't have enough money at the end to buy me. So I missed out. But next one, I got in for like 10k on the Bebos, with the Bebo at the helm. And that was fun. I think I finished like 4 and 4. Alright tour. This was a lot of fun. And we got robbed by an oblivious slow bro in SM in
Oh,
semis
that
tiebreaker.
that tiebreaker is so legendary. The Bebo,
Yeah,
the Bebo
and
game
Bebo
is hell.
through the game also.
Yeah, and the cursed body not
It was an
activating
spear.
for like what, 10 hits or something. There was a game for sure. Okay, so next question: how did you approach the draft? And also a unique question for you because you are the only one. But why did you decide to sign up alone? You don't have a co-manager with you or anything like that. So how did you plan the draft and why did you decide to do it alone?
My approach was that an old gen focus. It's like 5 of the 8 slots are old gens, so I thought that was the sense approach to like spend. I allocated like 60,000 on old gens, and then I had 12k for subs and the rest for my SV starters. That was the idea. And 12k for the subs, so I could have like 6k extra, like to bid extra if anyone is going higher than I expected, something like that. But yeah, and it worked out pretty well, I would say. And to why I decided to loan, well, Scarm and Wally both retired, so I don't know. I don't really. Today was out the question, and I didn't really. I thought it was better to just sign up myself, and because manager price was already like really expensive, so it was just better to manage alone. Both like economic sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and it's extremely fair then. Uh, Very well then. You mentioned that you went heavy on the all gens, which we can, looking at the draft, I definitely see that you have yourself in black and white, obviously, which you went for a lot for because of the manager prices. Then you have Chaitanya in Noras, which is like one of the best players for the tier. Then you also have Bluebird and Urtadu, who have been playing SM and SS for a long time. And are you able to speak about everybody else in your team?
Sure, can bring it up here so I don't uh, forget anyone. So let's start with the SV slot, or what do you want?
Just go whatever order you.
A lot of the people I've drafted I've teamed up before, like Danny and Inder, Lenny. All three of those was we were together on the Slush Rusher and won RPL 9. And then I got the new mainer duo in the Jungler and Suki, which I'm very hyped about having them on the team. And they've already started with like building new teams, and yeah, the team has been very active even though we have a bye week. So
Nice, that's great to hear. So, now that we talked about your team, who do you think in the tournament is the team that you think is most threatening or scary to face?
mm, I don't know. I don't really fear any of the teams in particular. This is one of the like strongest, I think, lineups overall of any RPL. Very stacked tour, so I think everyone is so close to each other. So kind of like kind of nitpicking who you wanna like when you rank them. I think so. And I'm confident in my own team, so I think we are quite flexible in the slots, and great mix of both experienced players and newer ones. So I think we can, yeah, we are good odds at taking on the anyone really.
Yeah, that's definitely something that has been brought up consistently in those interviews, that this RUPL is probably the overall most balanced that has ever been. I don't think there's a clearly bad team or a clearly overpowered team. There's like pretty much any team could be winning and losing this tour, which is very fun to see how it's gonna evolve. So, last question. Is there anything you're particularly excited for this RUPL?
I don't know. The best of three slots are always like highlights, and the pool is stacked. That's always so. That's always hyped, and we have talked about how the stacked each teams are. So it's really like every week will be a like highlight matchup after highlight matchup, and yeah, I'm just excited over the whole tour in general. Really,
Fair enough. So, is there anything you would like to add before we close or something?
not really. I was just want to thank you and Tsuki for uh, arranging these interviews and setting up this YouTube channel for not only this RPL but probably I'm guessing a lot of other RU related content in the future, which I'm looking forward to.
Thank you for taking your time in the first place to come here and talk about the tournament. So, also thanks everyone for listening to those. This has been Goldcat from the Payloaders, and we will see you in the next and probably last interview. Goodbye.
Hello.